Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 7 of the Students of the Game podcast. It's been a long journey, I would say. It's kind of surprising to already be at episode 7 today. I'm joined here by Sam with Rothstein. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Harold. How about you?
That's always a lovely question. We just had that conversation about a presentation I got to give in 5-6 hours here. So not really excited for that. But of course, there's a lot that we got that I have on the little agenda that I have written here today. So we're going to hop right into it. I know you got some prior obligations to deal with here in a couple hours. So we'll make this one work out. So we're going to start with your guys' matches this week. You guys were supposed to take on University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee, and then you ended up playing Indiana. So I'll let you talk about those. What are your thoughts on those two matches?
Well, the one we got a forfeit, right?
Yeah, so that was the one where the guy's internet cut out. University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee, internet cut out. So
yes, we played a scrim before that, and we were ready to play. And then at 8:05, 5 minutes after the match was about to start, they were like, "Oh, we can't play. We forfeit." We're like, "Oh, okay." So that was fun. And then the match we played yesterday was against a really good team who were, pretty cocky.
Indiana.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They were always on us. They were always up in the air, always stealing our boost. So it was a tough one. But we took it to game 5, so it was pretty good.
Yeah. So right now, you guys are currently sitting at number 1 in the division. It does get a bit mixy from here, though, as of course there are a couple differences now that you are sitting at 3-1 rather than 4-0. If you were curious, you guys are still above Indiana, sitting at 3-1, both of you. But you guys have a really good game count right now. You're sitting at 11-4.
Nice.
Indiana's at 9-7. So there's a lot of they've been getting a lot of game 5s and that sort of thing. Carthage sitting at 2-1. Obviously, they don't play till Friday or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see tomorrow how the standings change up a little bit because the bottom half it's a bit different too. So you haven't confirmed your spot in playoffs as far as I can tell, but you're getting there. I think if you win one more series, you'll be there.
Nice.
So there is that to look forward to.
Good stuff.
I forget who you guys play next week. I think it's UW Whitewater, the other Wisconsin team that's in your division.
Yeah.
So I do want to move away from that for just a second, though. Spring break next week.
Yeah.
Are you going home? I know you got track and stuff.
Yes,
so.
I have a track meet on Saturday, which we're leaving for today. And then after that, we're coming back Saturday night, and I get a whole week off, which will be really nice. Hopefully, still play some Rocket League over then, but take a mental reset there. Yeah.
So that's, of course, always a good plan to just chill out, hang out, don't have to worry too much about it. And I guess I was going to talk about this at the end, but since you kind of brought it up already, so I want you to talk a little bit about the regionals, correct?
Yes.
Coming up. Obviously, you said they're on Saturday. So what are your thoughts going into it? How are you looking, and how is the whole team looking as well?
Well, the whole team is not going. It's just people who qualified.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, whoever's going, I should say.
We have 2 men, I think only 2 guys, who are competing and have a real shot to make nationals, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
One distance guy, Elijah, he's running the 800. He's got a chance at nationals. And our 160-meter hurdler, Zach Reed, also has a chance for nationals. I think they're both ranked around 30 to 40 in the country for Division III in their events. So that'll be exciting to watch that at least.
Yeah.
And then my event, I'm doing the 3K, which right now I'm 4 seconds away from the school record. So that's kind of the goal.
Really?
That's the goal for this weekend.
4 seconds. That's all you need to cut off.
Yep.
That is insane, especially for it being a school record. I don't know much about our track team. I'll be very blunt about that. Track, cross country, all of that. I don't really know much about it, but still, that is incredible. And of course, you're only a junior, right?
Sophomore.
I keep saying you're a junior, and I think I even wrote it in my notes. I did. I wrote it in my notes that you're a junior this year. So
nope,
I'll
only
have
a
to
sophomore.
change that conversation for later. But still got a couple years too to improve upon it. I mean, so where do you have to place to make nationals?
You have to be top 22 in your event.
Okay. And do you know how many people are in like the ones, so the ones you talked about where a couple of our track play or athletes are are able to possibly contend for nationals.
Yeah.
Where are they looking right now in terms of like the region?
I don't know exactly how many regions are in like the whole NCAA
Yeah.
Division 3,
Yeah.
but I would say top 3 in your event would give you a good shot to make nationals.
Okay.
So that's kind of,
The goal.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about the whole track, cross country, because you do both, and
Mhm.
then Rocket League. How the hell do you balance it all? Because it's a lot, and I know it's a lot because I've heard your schedule from Tyler. So how do you organize your time?
Well, first is class. Always gotta go to class. Um, then, well, I'm a student athlete, so the student side comes first.
Yeah.
So, that means go to class, get the homework done, and then once that's all finished, go to practice. And then the team normally sets up a scrim for like, 7 or 8 o'clock. Normally try to, be done with my homework then, or if it's just a short assignment, do it after the scrim. But it's kind of hard sometimes. Sometimes I got to study, and my teammates want to scrim, and I'm like, man, I'm really crunched for time. Like, I'm really stressed out, but, you take one thing at a time and just kind of go one thing at a time, one day at a time.
So is there a way that you like organize specifically, or do you just kind of like I do it in my head sometimes, other times I write it down on my phone. Like, do you block out your day in like any sort of way?
Normally, I mean, I'm a pretty organized person, so I'll just like make sticky notes of all the assignments I have to do during the week, and I kind of do that. I think just like the first week or two of the semester is also just really stressful, so I try to just like map out what I'm trying to do in my head, maybe write down a schedule then. Um, but like now that we're like almost halfway into the semester, I know, what assignments I get each week, what like practice looks like with my Rocket League and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little tough to balance, but we get there.
I
We'll
I
make it
can
through.
imagine because it is a lot. Like, what's your major? Honestly, I don't even know what your major is.
I'm business administration and economics.
Okay.
Double major.
Oh, double. You're also a double major on top of all of the sports.
Yep.
That is, I mean, I feel they go at least go together to an
Yeah,
extent,
they go together. It's not.
but there's still other different classes that you have to take and all that sort of stuff. So like I can't even imagine. So I don't know if there's really a good way to answer this, but
Yeah.
what makes this all work out for you?
Man, I'm not really sure. I mean, I just try to have fun with everything that I'm doing, really. If I feel like I'm not having fun or like I'm way too stressed, like I'll take a step back. Like last semester, I went down to the B team because I was a little stressed with track. But now this year, I knew what track looked like, I knew what Rocket League looked like, and I knew I could manage it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like having fun with it because I was having fun last year on the B team.
I can imagine that team is
Yeah.
always having a lot of fun down there.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could kind of like commentate more of their games. I wish I could sit like in their games sometimes because like I mean maybe not this semester, but like in previous semesters, dude, I've always seen it as like such a fun time to be a part of and such
Yeah.
a like a fun atmosphere because you don't have to take it as seriously. Like you still do, but like
Exactly.
it's not as like important as being on that varsity team because you're on 3 different varsity teams here. I can't even imagine like it's stressful there, and then you're also a double major on top of it. Like that's
We
just
manage.
incredible.
We manage.
It comes down to we manage, and I can understand
I'm
that.
sure people do a lot harder things. Yeah. Yeah.
So going to Rocket League, obviously, what a week, 2 weeks ago, your first ever LAN, as far as I'm aware of, right?
I mean,
Did
back
you travel to
back
any
in
of
high
those?
school, I don't know if any of you guys know what Laserdome is. Do you know where that is?
Are you talking about the one in Carlisle?
No, the one in Lancaster.
Okay, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, but I'm thinking of a different one. But yes.
Yeah, they used to have tournaments, Rocket League, Fortnite, like any of those tournaments.
What?
Yeah, and me and two of my friends would always do the Rocket League tournaments, and we got like second or third every time. We never won, but
Ah,
that's the kind of
that's what you
LAN
would do.
experience I have. So not
So
very big.
now that you've gone to a bigger LAN, Collision on the Coast to Virginia Wesleyan University, I always have a fun time with them. But I want your thoughts. People have heard my thoughts a million times over. What are your thoughts from the event?
I thought it was a really well put together LAN. I mean, there's a lot of really cool people there that we met and talked to. University of Dayton was pretty cool. UNH was pretty cool. Obviously, the hosts, VWU, were pretty cool too. We all just went out and had a good time. I think it was set up pretty good. The internet was a little shaky at times,
Yeah.
but when is it not with Rocket League servers? So, but yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
So, you did say you played on land, but I think this is a much different experience. So, what did you notice that the difference between playing through online and playing on land? Because I know I hear it a million times over, and that obviously there is. What is that difference feeling like to you? Because you did play matches in the LAN servers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's pretty nerve-wracking. You want to do the best you can on LAN. Um, I mean, I thought it was fun. Like, I just embraced the moment. We had a good time facing some good teams. We were, I wouldn't say we were trolling, but we were, getting in their faces and
Having
stuff.
about.
Yeah, yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. I mean, I, I don't really know what I expected going into it. I didn't
Yeah.
really think much about it, but it was pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's a much different experience. Like personally, I mean at this point, I've been to a LAN for everything. I played on LAN in Valorant. I played on LAN in Halo. I've gone to other Valorant events. I've gone to a COD major. I've gone to this. I've gone to that. Whatever. So like, yeah, I always enjoy getting to hear when someone has like their first true experience on LAN. It's always like I used to have that same mindset where it's like, whoa, it's like this crazy,
Yeah,
like
it's
different
very different.
that environment. And I feel I've gotten a bit too used to it at this point, despite all of the different titles I've gone to lands for. But I always love hearing that experience, man.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It is, and seeing it play out differently for different titles, and like, I mean, there were so unfortunately you didn't get to experience that main stage like last year was, but what were your thoughts for how the main stage was not only set up, but also for having to being able to see that there's a crowd watching you like right in front of you?
I mean, the crowd was pretty cool. Obviously, schools came from all over, so there wasn't like tons of people in the
Yeah.
audience. So, it's not what I expected there. But I mean, they brought out a stage. They brought out six computers, three for both the teams. I mean, they had a whole huge projector that they
Yeah.
projected the game onto. Yeah, it was very different than sitting in these chairs here.
Yeah, especially because like in here you're away from everyone. Like
Yeah.
we're in the basement of one of our academic buildings, and like a large majority of our campus doesn't even know this room exists to begin with. So like for them it's like this, it's just everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
And like I mean they're very prominent. It's just in the middle of their gymnasium
Yeah,
even.
and to
Like,
have the other team sitting right next to
right
you is
there, like
funny.
a bit further than this distance here between
Yeah.
us two, but like not by a lot. Like
No.
maybe at the desks over there that are a bit off screen. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't that far away.
Nope. Yeah, they're just right there.
So this is probably a really dumb question. You want to
Let's
play
hear it.
more lands?
I mean, yeah.
That is, like I
Bring
said,
it
a
on,
dumb
dude.
question.
Bring
But
it on.
so obviously, I don't really know, at least for Rocket League, what lands go on. I don't think you guys could even play. So Queen City Clash, the Cincinnati event that Rainbow qualified for, they're also having a Rocket League event. But I sent it to Tyler, but I don't. I think you guys are like busy during that qualifier or something like that. So I don't know if you'll be able to play there. But of course, it might end up coming down here soon to just you and Matt and Jordan finding events, because obviously Tyler graduating this year, and you
Yeah.
have a few years yet to go to more. So
Yeah.
pretty excited to
See.
see that personally. Like I'll be watching from afar.
Yeah.
Always will be. I'll find a way. So now that we've gotten caught up on the present, as far as I can see. Let's talk about the past. Your trip here to not only to LVC but to Rocket League, to track, to cross country, all of it. So let's start with where did you get your start in video games as a whole?
Well, I started, playing a lot of Pokemon, a lot of Mario. Uh, I was pretty good at Mario Kart.
Big Nintendo guy
Yeah,
at your younger ages.
big Nintendo and Wii guy. Loved playing Super Smash Bros. Anything competitive where I can beat my brother and dad.
That's where it all stems from.
Yeah.
So where did you find Rocket League?
So I found Rocket League. I was in seventh or eighth grade in middle school, and my one friend, I didn't even have an Xbox. Like I still had my like Wii, and my friend was like, "Oh, you should get an Xbox. Play Call of Duty, play all these games." And then they showed me Rocket League, and when I got my first Xbox for that Christmas in like seventh or eighth grade, I would I would play with like, 3, 4 of my friends, and we'd just play like whoever was on would play. I was terrible.
Oh yeah.
But, I worked up there. I got good pretty quick. Um, Going for aerials and stuff, and my friends were like, "What? How are
What
you
is
doing
happening?
that?" Um, I would always practice training and, be in there to get better. But yeah, I mean I played soccer growing up, so that was a big part in
Yeah.
why
It
I
kind of naturally fit.
enjoyed the game. And same with my friends were all soccer players, so we were
Yeah.
all, pretty into the game. But that's kind of how I got into it.
So, did it come to you, like, or I should say, when did it come to you, I guess, that competitive was going to be a possibility for Rocket League?
Well, like I said, I went to that LAN event at the Laser Dome near my house,
Hmm.
and I think that was like ninth and 10th grade.
So early high school.
Yeah. And, I was probably like a diamond player then,
Yeah.
maybe high diamond, low champ. Um, I wanted to get grand champion because, like,
That's what everyone
I
wants.
wanted to be the best. Um, and then in, 10th grade, I ran into Mr. Frenchie, Tyler.
Oh boy, that's where it all starts.
That's kind of where it all started in the competitive aspect. Because he was like, I was just playing solo queuing 3v3, and I ran into Tyler and one of his friends, and we, started a team because we liked how we played with each other in one competitive game. So that's kind of, and we formed like a team, and we would, scrim other teams.
Do you remember who it
all
was?
that.
Because I probably know who.
Yeah, his name's Dustin, PWR, gamertag.
Oh, I vaguely have heard of him,
Yeah,
but Tyler, I've never had like direct conversation with Tyler
yeah,
about him. So, dude, that's so far. That's like what, 4 or 5 years ago? 4 years ago,
4 years.
probably.
Yeah, 4 years ago. It was 2020.
I didn't even know you guys were playing that long. Like, I knew, like, obviously, I knew Tyler knew who you were,
Yeah.
like my freshman year or our freshman year, I guess. But like, I didn't know it went back that far.
Well, Tyler was a senior in high school, and he said he was coming here.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was definitely a reason why I considered coming here. It wasn't the main reason,
Yeah.
but
So that's kind of like part of what set you up to consider here
Yeah.
as your destination.
for sure.
So let's talk about that process of getting here. Now that we already had talked about that getting to that point. So what led to your decision? How was your decision made, and what all went into it? Because obviously, I already know it was way more than just Rocket League.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is I wanted to study business, so I could really do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and my parents wanted to find somewhere, cheap.
Hmm.
Applied here because, some of my friends were applying here. I visited, I really liked it. I had meetings with the cross country and track coach, obviously. Really cool. Really liked him. That was maybe the main reason why I came here because of the track coach. He would come to my meets in high school.
Yeah.
Kind of recruited me.
Was that O'Brien?
Yes, Coach O'Brien.
He was my FYE professor for
Yeah,
the I think
he
it was the
is.
fall semester. Well, not professor obviously because he's a coach,
Yep,
but
he's a FYE.
mentor, I think, or
It's
something
like,
like that.
what's that FYE class that's like one credit?
Companion. That's
Companion.
what it
Yes,
is.
he's
Yeah.
a FYE companion teacher for one of the courses.
Yeah, and he was mine actually for my first semester here, and I
Yeah.
loved him. I haven't spoken to him since, but I loved him. So
Yeah, he's a very chill guy,
yeah,
really cares about students and athletes. So,
definitely does. I mean, and there's a reason he won MAC Coach of the Year
he
for
did.
track, right?
Yep, just
I
this
mean, he
past
should
weekend.
have. I saw that and I was like, man, that's incredible.
Yep.
Like he definitely deserved it. I've seen him firsthand be one of the best coaches, best even teachers,
Yeah.
despite not being a teacher at all, that I've personally been around while
Yeah.
I've been here. So that's kind of what factored into your decision. It was a lot of it was the track stuff, but
Yes.
alongside of that, you obviously had that connection with Tyler
Yep.
before coming here. So I'd imagine that that played a big part too.
Yeah, not as big as the running, but
No, I
yeah.
can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm assuming track, cross country, still your priority
Yes.
outside of obviously being a student.
Yeah. And I think the financial aid I got here was better than anywhere else I applied to, so that was also a big part.
So, what other schools were you looking at?
I was looking at Westchester. I was looking at University of Delaware. I really liked that, but that was very expensive.
Yeah,
Um,
it's also a big school too, right? D1.
yeah, and they don't have a running team, so that kind of was like, yeah,
Uh,
they just had a
that's
club.
rough. Yeah.
I was looking at some other local schools, but nothing felt better than here. So
It always comes back to it never feels better than at the Valley. I've heard that statement a million times
yeah,
over. So, what has your experience been playing for the team? Obviously, you've had an interesting time because, like you said when we started here, you were on Team Two for a while. You've been on Team One without Tyler, or right? You were on Team One without Tyler, or was it without Mason? I forget. One of the two.
without Mason, it was me,
Yeah,
Tyler, and
and Dylan.
Dylan.
And you guys won titles like that. So with
We-
that team.
Yeah,
So
that
what was that
my
experience like
yeah.
playing for the team?
I mean, that was my first semester.
Yeah.
I mean, what Dylan was a senior, Ty was a junior, and I was a freshman. So
Yeah.
no one really knew what to expect. But we kind of clicked as a team early in the semester, and then just like kind of, carried that through, and we ended up doing really well. So
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, obviously. I don't know if anyone else did, but we kind of proved people wrong, I think.
I would agree. I was thankfully getting to watch and commentate on most of those matches. I had Mason on the desk with
Yep.
me talking about that, and very rarely talking about the game itself. Mostly talking about gibberish, what it felt like
Yeah.
some days, to be honest with you. But then you went down to Team Two after that, right? Because Mason came back, and then it was
Yes.
Tyler, Mason, Dylan. So what won? What was that team? Was it you, Ethan, Bryce?
It was me, Ethan, and Matt.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because Bryson was Team One sub, right?
Yes.
So what was the experience like there?
I mean, I kind of, after the first semester, I didn't know how track would be, so I was kind of like, to Tyler and Dylan, I was kind of like, like, and they're considering that Mason was going to come back, so I was like, guys, like, I could just take a semester to take it easy,
Yeah.
so I don't even know if I tried out for Team 1. I think I just tried
I don't
out.
think you did.
I think
'cause
I
remember
tried out
seeing
for
it.
Team 2, and me, Matt, and Ethan had some fun with that. We didn't really take it too seriously,
No.
but we all had fun with it.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, Team Two is always a fun time. So I do need to ask though. Obviously, we talked about the titles, right?
Yeah.
And what have those titles meant to you personally that you have won?
Well, Tyler and Dylan knew more about winning a title than I knew.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were playing some teams that weren't too good, so I was like, we could win this, and like, I didn't really know what it meant, but they really wanted to win. They were like, come on,
They were like, we need this
yeah,
championship so badly.
yeah, we gotta win, we gotta get the trophy. And I was like, all right, like, let's do it then. So, kind of just, I didn't really know what to expect, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
So is there like a deeper value maybe you hold? I know, to be honest, I'm gonna be straight up. Tyler said it didn't mean almost jack shit to him. So like
Yeah.
I understand if it isn't like the biggest deal, but is there any like deeper meaning you found in them or any of that sort of thing that
Well, I mean, it's sitting right out there in the case, so that's pretty cool.
get to kind of show it off? But then again, no one really comes down
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
So.
other than that, like, I didn't get like a in-game tag for it. We
Yeah,
didn't-
which sucks.
we
They
didn't-
need to add NECC champion.
Yeah, we didn't win any money. Like, we just
No.
got a little trophy that no one
Yeah.
really sees. So it's kind of like
It's cool.
It's cool
but
we won, but
yeah,
like
it is
people
what
are
it
like,
is.
who cares?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Understandable. I've gotten that from most players. I completely understand that. And to be fair, if I was a player who had won championships, I'd probably have a pretty similar value on it. Unfortunately, I'm technically a player who's won championships, but that's being because I was on the bench to fill a roster spot that was required, not because I was actually good at the game or had any reason to even be on the team to begin with. Except for Rocket League Team 3, I almost subbed in a game for them, and I should have, honestly.
You should have. I would have
I
liked
was,
to see
dude.
that.
They're like, oh, you can play today, dude. You're getting in, like we're playing you, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready. We're gonna 3-0 these clowns, and then they rescheduled it on me, man.
Oh,
They rescheduled
come
it.
on.
I was so ready. I was like dead ass, like prepping for like an hour, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're just rescheduling, and I'm like,
That
"Oh."
sucks, man. That could have been your moment.
That would have been my moment, dude. I was like the same. I think I was a higher rank than the team that they were playing. I think I was like literally a higher rank than
Wow.
the team that they played. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening though. But that's besides the meaningful part
Yeah.
of everything else here. Something that I want to touch on, and this genuinely it means a lot to me personally to see. I'd imagine it does mean a lot to you, but of course I'll let you talk about that. So your dad is in our chat relentlessly. He's following, he's liking every tweet that mentions Rocket League. I don't even tag him and he knows it's there. Like the second he knows it's just posted, all of that sort of stuff. Your dad has been probably, I'd imagine, one of your biggest, if not your biggest supporter out there. So what
Definitely.
has that support meant to you? And not only just for cross country, not only for track, but also for Rocket League. What has that type of support meant for you?
I mean, he's like the most energetic person I know. Like, and he's always texting me, "Oh, when's your Rocket League match tonight? Oh, when's your next Rocket League match?" I'm like I don't even know these things. Like, I'm not even thinking of when my next match is, and he's already texting me about it. So I think it's funny that he almost cares more than me about, Rocket League, because he plays the game now too. Because
What rank is Craig?
He's a diamond player.
He's the same rank as me.
Oh,
He's the same rank as me.
I need to see this 1v1 happen.
Oh, don't put it out there like that. I can't bring myself to 1v1 your dad. I don't know if that would be worse for me. That would be miles worse for me if I lose that, dude. That would be a fun one to watch though. That could be a show match
That
right
would
there.
be hilarious.
So obviously you've talked about what has that meant for you as both a person and a player to have that backing at essentially all times, to be honest.
I mean, it definitely like, puts a little more pressure on me, like, to do good, but I just have fun with it, and try my best, and he's proud of it. So
Yeah.
it it feels good to have someone always in your corner.
So for me personally, I know, and I'm not trying to make this about me, by the way. I'm just putting this out there to kind of compare experiences, right? So personally, for me, my dad I haven't spoken to him in a couple, 2, 3 years at this point, but he personally had the exact opposite effect that your dad did. I was told by him and his now, I'd assume, fiance / wife, whatever you want to call it, that I would never make a career out of this. It would be a waste of my time. I was doing absolutely nothing with it. And so for me, from my perspective, to see how much your dad has been supportive, to see him showing up to the matches. He brings us food when he comes in, and he asks what everyone wants. You know, he's doing this, he's doing that. He was on vacation during VWU, and he was more adamant on the streams and on the socials than almost
was.
I was, and it's my job
Yep.
to see that. It's incredible, and I personally have so much respect and so much love for Craig from my end for all
Aw.
of that. I can't even imagine how it feels to have that backing. Even though you're not, obviously it's not something that's on your mind at all times. I mean, it's probably in your messages at all times,
Yeah.
but it's probably not something that's always on your mind. But it's just incredible to see, and I will always respect the hell out of Craig for that, for everything he does for
Well,
you and for the team and all that sort of stuff.
he definitely appreciates you too.
Yeah,
He always says, "Go Harold!" Like, get Harold in there.
dude.
Even on the LAN, they were like, he was like, "Get Harold in there. He's the best."
I
So,
commentated one match, and the second I started speaking, the second I said hello, I just saw a plethora of messages in that Twitch chat from him, and it genuinely it means the world to me to see, and especially I'd imagine for you it means a lot too. It's something that doesn't happen a lot in esports, and really needs to. And honestly, Craig is an incredible example for literally anybody that has a kid that's going into esports that wants to pursue the career. He knows you probably won't be a pro player. I'm sorry if that burst your bubbles.
no, no, I'm not.
But you probably won't be a pro player, but he's still there. He still cares. He wants to know how you're doing, what you're doing, all of that. And I think he is the prime example of what parents should be in terms of esports. Because obviously he
Yeah.
supports you in track and cross country too. I just don't get to see that side because obviously I'm not there, and
Oh, you
track isn't
should
my
have
thing.
seen him this past weekend. He was screaming.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So where were Max held at? Was it?
It was at Alvernia.
Yeah, I remember we had that talk about it. So obviously that's a bit of a travel, right? Reading. So
Yeah,
I guess it's only, that's actually not too
it's
bad.
like 45 an hour.
Yeah, so it's not too bad, but still, I mean, he would have been at VWU if he wasn't on vacation, and for God knows what reason, he was on vacation at the LAN, or we were at the LAN. Even him being on vacation, he's in the Twitch chat,
Yeah.
just chatting it up and everything. So
Yep, of course.
much respect, and I will always and forever respect that man for everything he does for you, and I'm sure you can go the same for you too.
Yeah, for sure.
So now I want to talk about the future. Obviously, you're a sophomore, not a junior, like I keep saying. I keep associating you in the same class as Matt,
Yeah.
and I think that's what gets me because you two are pretty close. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. But what is the future looking like? And I have two perspectives I want to get out of this. But
Yeah.
I'll start. What is the future looking like for Mr. Sam, Mr. Rothstein? What is your future? Rest of college, even just rest of the semester. What's it looking like for you?
Just want to get through school, get as close to, 4.0 as possible. Think I'm at like a 3.8 something right now.
Really? Like
So-
overall?
Yeah. So, just got to keep studying, keep grinding out assignments, keep doing that, get my degree, hopefully get into a good career. Not sure exactly what I want to do yet. Something with numbers, finance, money, something.
Yeah.
To do
That's
with
what that econ double major is for.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I just want to keep running, keep playing Rocket League. I think running means more to me right now
I can
because
imagine. Yeah.
I'm really I'm like getting
You're
pretty good.
getting there,
I'm
man.
getting pretty good, so I want to, not settle for just good. I want to be great, so I want to just keep going there and keep working my butt off till it shows.
I mean, you were 4 seconds off that record. Now, obviously, I didn't know that coming into this, but hearing that is just still insane to me because you're a sophomore. You have every opportunity to break this record, and you can. And the career thing obviously is very important, but I'm pushing that aside. I'm not gonna lie. You're a sophomore. You got time to think about that. I don't.
True.
But you are so damn close to this to something that could keep your name in our school's history for
Yeah.
a very long time. So does that bring any pressure to you knowing that you still have 2 years to do it, or is that something that's just if I do it, I do it?
Well, there's a lot of records right now that are being held that are still held by current athletes. So, like our pole vaulter keeps breaking his own school record,
Yeah.
and you see it on the track and field Instagram. Oh, pole Aiden Stankus broke the pole vault record again, his own record.
The
So
10th
I
time
wanna
this
do
year.
that. I wanna be that good that I'm breaking my own record. So I'm just gonna keep pushing, make it harder for the next person.
Simply put, you don't want to just be a guy. You want to be the guy.
True.
And
Well said.
that's exactly what I'd expect out of you, honestly. I mean, obviously you're pretty soft spoken. You don't talk a lot of shit. I mean, I watched you talk shit, and that threw me off. I was lost in that
Yeah.
series with Lubbock, but it, it's not a side that comes out of you, and and obviously I understand that. So, I am obviously rooting for you in every single aspect of it, and
I appreciate it.
this weekend. I hope it happens. Of course, again, you still have a lot of events to do it, but I would love to see that. So I want to move on to talking about the middle one there, Samis. I don't
Samus future.
the future of Samis. Is there competition you would be looking for outside of collegiate?
I'm not sure I have time for that, honestly.
And I don't even mean now. Like even after you graduate, would that be something you'd consider
After I
looking into?
graduate. I think I'll maybe just play the game for fun after.
Yeah.
I think I'll be a little tired from competing. Who knows? I still got, 2.5 years to figure it out. But right now I'm thinking hang up the
The sticks.
sticks.
That's what Mason did,
Yeah.
and that's a very respectable thing. I had Andrew on last week, and he said he's pretty much going to stop playing video games almost altogether.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. I mean, we're not Fisher, we're not Maryville, we're not Northwood, we're not putting out pro players. Like that's reasonable, and that's the reality of it too. I mean, it's just how it is. But of course, you still got years to look forward for it. And now my next question's not going to make sense. It says, "What's senior year look like?" Don't answer senior year. What's junior year look like for you?
Junior year. Just a lot of major classes, knock some of the hard ones out. Um, Obviously, keep getting better at cross country, keep getting faster with my times in track. Um, I'm not sure what Rock League's gonna look like because I don't know what the team's gonna look like yet. But we'll see when it gets there. I'm not looking too far ahead. So I just want to enjoy this semester.
Yeah.
Last semester with Tyler.
Yep. So actually, I didn't even write that down, but well, I mean, I knew that in my head, but what is that relationship between you and Tyler meant, not only to you, but to your development as a player, as a person, all of that? What is your connection with him meant to you?
Well, kind of look at him like a older brother. He's kind of showed me all around. Showed
Yeah.
me how to, you know, like compete in Rocket League. Take it seriously, because I took it seriously, but I was joking
It
around.
wasn't all the way
Yeah,
up there.
yeah. But he's taught me to take it more seriously, and kind of, taking me under his wing.
Yeah.
So it's been good.
I can imagine. I mean, he's probably I'll put it out this way. He's probably the best captain we have, at least right now. Last year he captain last year? He was
Yeah.
in the spring at least. Last year, similar story. He's been an incredible part for us to have, and
Agreed.
I can imagine, especially for you coming in. I mean, you had that connection with him,
Hmm.
and so even before you got here, you had someone to look up to, someone to kind of show you around and kind of deal with to get that entry into
Yeah.
LVC.
Yeah,
Coming into
most
college is
definitely.
scary, man.
But yeah, knowing people before you get here is very nice. Like if I didn't know anyone, I'd be a little lost. But I'm thankful to have some people that I know.
Yeah.
You know,
So
coming into it.
do you have any advice or pieces of thought maybe for future competitors here, not even just in Rocket League and track, cross country, all of that. Do you have any parts of advice you could give them as if they're incoming in the next couple of years?
Well, I know I'm only a sophomore, but this whole college thing's going by really quick. So I think you just need to have fun with it, enjoy it, take it one thing at a time. Um, it's going to be over before you know it. So kind of just work your butt off when you're here, and then, yeah, that's all I really got. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's a good way of putting it. The time dwindles pretty quickly, as I'm experiencing now. I mean, it hits you, dude. It will, especially senior year. I can imagine it'll probably hit you pretty hard. I mean, I had the same thought when I played football in high school. It felt like it would never end, and then one day you're sitting in the locker room. Doesn't matter how many trophies you have. You're done. You don't get enough. You don't get an unlimited amount of shots. I mean, unless if your name is Bo Nix, he had like 8 years in college football for some reason.
Wild.
But like, there's also this is off tangent, but like, there's a player. I think he just got approved for like a ninth season because he was injured for like four of them. A ninth season in college football. Or it was like 8 or 9. That should
Oh.
not happen. But I mean, also the guy was injured for most of them.
That's a little crazy. Yeah.
But take your time because no one else on planet Earth will ever have 9 years in college. I would hope. Also,
You
yeah,
never know.
how'd you get through college for 9 years?
Oh.
Like that is a whole nother story. But yeah, taking your time. I mean, probably the most important lesson in life, to be honest. You don't get a lot of it. You get 24 hours every single day, and that'll never change unless if the scientists change the clock on us, and I don't see that happening. You get 365 days every year. Well, except for this year, you get 366 because of the leap year. Yeah. So, do you have anyone? I wrote people, places, whatever, but it's more of just people, pretty much. Do you have anyone or anything you want to shout out before we close out here?
I don't want to shout out. Probably Kreger.
Oh yeah,
Kreger.
that's always a big one to shout out. I like that.
Man, Kreger supported me everywhere. I mean, he's always there. So thank you.
You got anyone else you need to put out there?
I don't know who else I would want to shout out. I mean, the whole team. The Rocket Boys.
The Rocket Boys,
The Rocket Boys.
as you've been dubbed for the past 2 years.
I don't know how it came about, Rocket Boys, but
That was probably one of the girlfriends of one of the players from last year, I think.
the Rocket Boys. I like it.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us today. Thank you, Sam, for coming on. This has been a great talk.
Thank you.
I've gotten pretty much all the information I've wanted out of you, to be fair.
Nice.
I did have a lot written down. I wrote all these notes this morning, actually, but I had a lot for you specifically that I wanted to talk about, especially because we don't get. I mean, we have a lot of dual athletes on our rosters, but I mean, technically, you're a triathlete and you're a double major. There's a plethora of information from you, and of course, everyone has a unique story. That's the goal.
Yep.
But go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LVC_esports on both those platforms. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. You get the weekly podcasts every single week. You can turn those notifications on. We'll see if we end up doing any more content, but it's been really tight this semester, so probably not. We'll see, though, as we continue through. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you can follow this account. It's my personal account, though. It's not it's not the school account, so you can take that how you want. You can go listen to my playlists if you really feel like it. But subscribing onto our YouTube, following our socials is really what means the most to me. Also, if you want to find out more about our program, links will be in the description below here. GoDutchman.com and the lavie website. We post articles on both those platforms. So go take a look in the description. All of those links will be there. Also for the Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all the links will be down there below. So thank you guys all for watching and listening. It really, really does mean the world to me. You got one more month until I have my monologue. So if you're looking forward to it,
Monologue.
Here it comes.
Monologue.
as if I don't talk enough already. But thank you guys for watching. That is going to close it out. We will catch you guys here next week. Even though we are on spring break, I will make sure I will record one. We might have a special guest from the University of Southern Mississippi on the show. So stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you guys here next week on when I record on our spring break. Peace out.